Now, PJ, I understand he reads all these things. And I just talked to text, so it just picked up everything I said. All right, now I'm going to tell him we're live. He'll know what I mean. So I'm live on my channel, and I'm giving you these results live for all to see. Of course, I know you're not going to respond, but at least you know what key it is. Hooray for you, Mike Walker, door and lock tips. It never spells that right for me. It always says door unlock tip. Oh, I don't know. There we go. I'm going to submit that little bit of dialogue to him. And it says find another key. Now, you know what I wish it could do? I wish it could have a back button where I could go back to the original key that I was at. I'm thinking that might be a good idea. I've written down a few things that I think are a good idea. And I also have something quite interesting from an AI program, what it told me. It's pretty incredible.
All right, how are we doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
Very good.
Good, good.
Well, yeah, I was checking out that video. I tell you what, pretty cool studio you got over there, and love the little ideniKey touches as well.
Oh, you noticed?
Absolutely.
I'm very pleased to hear that. I kind of went overboard, but you know what? You only get one chance in life. You might as well do it with gusto.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I love the program, so it's fun to do. I mean, I'm sure we'll get into it, but I have a blast with this thing.
Sure.
Yeah,
it's going to be a lot of fun. Like, I saw your few messages that you sent in to me.
Oh, did you?
Yep.
What did you think? Am I a ham? I ham it up a little bit.
No, like on ideniKey, no. I mean, I think it was good.
Okay.
Yeah, and so with like the Y78 thing, what I think that last time you searched it came up as number 2. I did a little retraining with it and all that, and I'll kind of get into it because so right now, like, I think I'll save it for the show.
Sure.
But
yeah, we want to save all this good stuff.
Really cool studio, though. I like all the different machines, and it made me think. I'm like, I need to up my game around here a little bit,
Well, I took my ITL and I put it out in the truck. So I had my ITL in for a long time, and I sold off a duplicator, an Ilko duplicator, to one of my loyal fans. He said he wanted it. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to sell it because I don't use duplicators that much. But I did get my old one back. I mean, that's like 20 years old. I redid it.
Is that the little mini mic there?
Yeah, can you believe it? It's still alive.
I like it.
Yeah, I do too. It's a sweetheart, really.
So here in about 20 seconds, I'll get the start music on, and then you'll be off screen for a while. I'll go ahead and do the first part of the show, which is 2 or 5 minutes, and then we'll hop right into all things fun ideniKey.
Yes, I can't wait.
So, yeah, and it's something we can do is kind of hop in there and kind of let you ask me any questions, just kind of talk about it. I'll kind of go into where I'm at with the results and all that kind of stuff. So
perfect. I love it. I kind of get what you're talking about. I get the gist of it.
Cool. All right. Well, here, let me pop you off the screen here, and we'll get this party started.
Okay. So he's getting the party started. Did you hear that? This is cool. I'm going to increase my volume here. Can you hear that, guys? Man, this is hip. I am so happy about this. I can't see you guys writing in anything, or if I even have anybody out there, but this is my first time with a live program, and I'm excited. You know, I need to do this. I think we all do, and especially with PJ. He's a great guy. I mean, I really am impressed with his knowledge. Ooh, we're down to 17 seconds. You know, I found that tune. Yeah, YouTube. I downloaded it. Non-copyright. In fact, I got 3,000 songs the other day.
Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome to the hashtag Lockboss show and giveaway. Hey, thank you all for coming and hanging out. And of course, we're going to be doing what we always do, and that's having a lot of fun, not only live here where the camera can see, but also in the comments. And I tell you what, we have a special guest today, door and lock tips. Mike's going to be on. We're going to be hanging out, and I'll kind of get into how this all came about here in just a few minutes. But of course, first and foremost, I'm going to be drinking some Topo Chico, laced with some Zip Fizz.
Ooh, Zip Fizz. I love Zip Fizz. They stopped carrying it at Sam's, though. Zip Fizz.
I think I'm on my, I don't know, I think I probably drank too many of those today.
No, those are, you can drink plenty of those.
I guess. But,
He can't hear me right now.
well, yeah, how's everybody doing on this wonderful Tuesday? Here in a moment, of course, we're going to hop into the show. We're going to be talking about the post of the week, the comment of the week. Then we're going to be talking with Door and Lock Tips, Mike over there, in regards to ideniKey. So, be very good. Oh, man, so many... okay, maybe laced wasn't the right word.
I can read all his comments.
Very, very good. All right, well,
That's pretty
let's go ahead.
funny.
Let's hop in. Let's get started. And Julio, so this the deal. You know, when we have a special guest on Julio, it is very, very important that, well, you only make sound effects on me and not on guests. I know we should be talking about this off camera, but just in case you get a little weird, I want to make sure that you know. Okay, fair enough. All right, everybody. Hey, let's hop in and let's have a little bit of fun. Here we go. All right, this is Lockboss season 3.9. Let's go to the post of the week. This one comes from the one and only Jeff Mossman Moss.
Hopefully you can hear this, guys.
CLKsupplies for the epic swag giveaway. As you can see there, all sorts of good stuff. Water bottle, the
I think you
ideniKey
can,
bag.
can't you?
Looks like a nice hat, couple shirts, koozie.
I've got it
And,
100% turned up.
One of my most underrated items is the that towel, that cooling towel. So, Jeff, thank you not only for
If you
being
want
part of the
to,
community,
I
but
put
your
links down in the
contributions
description.
that you've made
You
over
can
the
go
years.
down there and you can jump on his live feed.
All right, next up we got the comment of the
And
week.
the
And this
live
one
feed
comes
is
from
CLK Supply.
Locksmith.
And
Says,
just go
"Great
on
tip
his
here
live
for
show
today,
right
Lockboss."
now.
It's
And I'm
cool
kind of
that
waiting in the
ideniKey works
wings.
so well. I think I prefer
So if
to
you
cut the shoulder
if you
back.
want to jump
Yeah,
over there,
that's
if I'm not
interesting.
making too much sense here,
I a lot of times prefer to cut the tip on that.
I can
but,
talk over and
I can see how the cutting the shoulder back would work as well.
he's sure a
So,
great guy.
yeah, well, thank you.
I'm
for
truly
the
impressed by
comment
him.
there.
His knowledge base is unreal.
All right, so without further ado,
Oh, here we
our
go.
special guest, Michael from Door
Here we go.
and lock tips. I tell you what. So I'm gonna bring them on here in just a second, but I want to first talk about how this came to be. So
Okay.
I can't remember exactly how, but one way or another, I found myself watching a YouTube video about ideniKey from him. And as I started watching the video and he was having fun with it, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like, this person loves identiKey. I mean, I don't know about quite as much as I do, but was liking it a lot more, loving it. And so I went ahead and looked him up in our system, called him up just to say thanks. And as we started chatting and having a good time, I was like, hey, why don't you come on the show and let's hang out and let's talk about it.
Isn't that cool?
Without further ado, the one and only door and lock tips, Michael. Welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me on. I can't believe it, really. This is great.
Absolutely. Well, hey, like I was saying before we went live here, I love the little identiKey sticker you have sitting right over your shoulder there.
Yeah, I had to have a little fun with this,
Absolutely. Now, is that sitting on a lab capper? Is that what that is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, that's a highly technical machine. I don't know if you're familiar with those.
So, and I should ask, do you like to be called Michael or Mike?
Mike's fine. Yeah,
Okay,
Mike.
okay, perfect.
Yep.
So, Mike, if you could kind of give us a quick summary. So you have a YouTube channel where you do all sorts of things related to lock and key content.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like your history in the biz, and Mike, if you can take us through, give us the quick version from early on to kind of where you're at now.
Well, okay. Let's see if I can start. And I'm not going to blow it up. So the reality is I started because I was hungry. And so I had to get into something. And I was a general contractor at one time. And all the guys that were doing locks for me, I was doing recording studios. And they were happy and I was miserable. And I thought, you know what? They're coming in by themselves. I got 40 employees. And I want to do what they're doing. So I just went out for it. I just went out and there was a huge hospital chain, Advent Health Hospitals in Florida. And I no longer live there, but they gave me all 12 campuses and I was an outside vendor for about 26 years and got to do some cool things. I mean, in the lock world, maybe not 5 guys that ever do it. And then I hooked up with Tritech. It's a company in Chicago, and developed some locks with them as an outside source. And they're great people up there. They got a great lock. It's a card reader. But as you know, I discovered it quite early that it's hard to distinguish keys, right? You can have a whole room of keys and somebody brings up a key and you say, what key is it? And you like, I don't know. And you look around and you may not be familiar with that key and you put it on the shelf. So when I saw your app, I was blown away because I have spent big bucks. I mean, seriously big bucks on junk, right? I've got you can't see it's by a Keyline, that Camilo Blanco.
Yep.
Okay, well, it's okay if you want to have hooks and things, but it stumps itself too. So I looked at your app and I was blown away. I mean, and I'm not just telling you this, I mean, I really was. So I called everybody I knew, and you said it was free for like, first 30 days? So I called everybody I knew. Get this app. Come on, it's free. And they all got it. So, and they're all like, wow, I'm in. Because how many times can you take a picture of a key blank and it literally tells you what key this is? Or at least in the ballpark.
Sure.
So,
Yeah,
you all know this, right? This is terror. I mean, I like it because I'm familiar, but most guys, you've explained it. You got to put the tip down. And I mean, the basic thought of it, the whole thing is hard. So So taking pictures, oh, easy, easy. Hard, easy, easy.
Sure. Yeah, so, I mean, let's kind of talk about it a little bit. So,
Okay.
I mean, you've used it quite a bit. You've sent me a bunch of feedback and
Right.
doing all that. And so I'm really curious on, like, I mean, what are your thoughts and or what questions maybe could I answer?
Oh, you mean questions? You think I have some?
Ooh, I like it. I like it. All right, hold on now. I'm not doing this live, so let me brace.
Okay. All right. Are you ready?
I think so.
All right.
And then, by the way,
Yes.
anyone who's watching as well, in the comments, if you have questions for Mike or myself, feel free to put them in there. I'll try to get to them. Now, Mike, as you can see on the right of your screen there, you'll see all the comments. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, you got quite a following, PJ.
What's that?
You got a following, man.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm ready when you are. Go ahead here. As you're saying the first question, I'm taking a quick sip of topo here. And,
Okay.
let's see what we got.
Here's the thoughts. So I have an AI program, all right? AI. Now that's pretty smart, right? It's called Gemini. We're all familiar with that. Google Gemini. So I was playing with your program with them, with AI, because I've been invited to play with that thing. And you're not going to believe what it said. Are you ready? All right, I asked it, you know, can I take a picture like yours does, right? Like your program does. It said, no, I'm not able to do that. But it gave me very logical answers. You'd think it could have got it. But I questioned it just like, you know, I send you little questions about a key. And it couldn't quite get it. But here's what it said. It said this, and this is going to kind of freak you out, so get ready. It says, I appreciate your feedback and suggestions. Incorporating a database of key images and their corresponding information would significantly enhance my ability to identify keys and provide more accurate assistance to locksmiths. So, see, you've nailed that. You nailed that part. But listen to the freaky thing it said. It's going to freak you out. It says, I'm familiar with the work being done by ideniKey.
Really?
It said, and I believe that their database could be a valuable resource. I'll explore ways to access and integrate such database to improve my capabilities. That's insane. So I wanted to tell you, you know, as a loyal follower, put a firewall up.
Oh, yeah.
It's looking.
Yes, yeah, that is interesting for sure, you know.
It's a jaw dropper.
Yeah, that was, I don't think about that, you know.
All right, so now to my questions.
Oh, okay.
All right. So I'm wondering, are you gonna add some things to the app as it stands right now? You're gonna probably add some buttons and switches and things.
Absolutely, yes. So, I guess I've talked a lot about that. You know, we spent, over a year on just the technology part, and then I was like, oh man, we really got to now that we have the technology, we need to put it into an app.
Good.
Right?
Yes.
And so we essentially threw together the current app very quickly, and so there's pretty much two things going to happen. The first thing is that our biggest problem that we're having is that people are not taking. I don't know if saying a good enough picture is accurate, or if it's saying that taking the picture that we're looking for might be a better way to say it. So
Yes.
We're currently working on a way to essentially bulletproof that and make that be a non-issue. Okay. We're working on that. I don't have a date at the moment, but I'm hoping fairly soon mean, this is something that we were working on. We've been working on, and we're doing it on a couple different fronts.
Sure.
Once that's done and complete, we're then going to actually build we're actually going to move ideniKey to the real app. Okay.
Gotcha.
And that will have a lot more features, have a lot more things. Yeah. So I don't know if that can answer your question, but yes, it's not going to stay how it is forever. Or hopefully by the first of the year, if not sooner, we'll be well on our way to something different.
Good. I'm glad to hear that because, you know, as a locksmith, right, and playing with your app, I noticed a few things that could be help. And one thing for sure, if you had a go back button, not just retake the picture, but just go back. I found when I got to your site and I wanted to buy this key, right? All right. I could have, if you had a button to go back, I could go back and look at my key through that app of yours. And I just thought, you know, if there was a go back button, because it takes you right off the thing and then you got to retake all the pictures. Yeah. You know, if I wanted this key and I was not quite sure what I'm doing. I mean, I'm talking about the layman person, right? Which you're going to be selling to like thousands of people. So maybe a go back button. And then.
Yeah, I think that's it. And we do acknowledge. So we were trying to get it out by Aloha, right? That was the goal from day one. Yeah. And we just got to the point where, I mean, I just had to rip some stuff off of it and launch it.
Aloha. Yeah. Yeah, so cool. And I'm so glad you got it out there because now see all the testing's coming in and I got to play with it. You don't know how long I've been waiting for you to do this, by the way. When you first mentioned this revolutionary app, I was like, whoa. And so I keep hitting your site, you know, and I don't normally just keep going back to a guy's, you know, YouTube channel. But I was hoping like, I hope he's got it out now. I hope he's got it out. So anyway, I'm so pleased with it. Also, you know, on the way of, I talked to a lot of locksmiths about this, so this might be of help. So when you got a key like this, let's say it's an M1 key for a master lock. Well, they make a key that's like a 5-pinner, and the key is thinner than the M5 that they suggest. Master lock suggests. But most locksmiths have veneer calipers. So if you gave the measurements of these keys, wouldn't be hard to do. You could then have some reference point for a guy and save yourself a lot of trouble trying to explain what that key is to him or him trying to get through you. He can just measure and go, oh, well, that's not really the key. And then he could search. You know, you have 5 options there, right? You might have a key that he's not familiar with, like one of those JAMA keys, right? And that I thought that would be of help. I don't know. You got me on the show, so I'm giving you my ideas.
Yeah. And I would say that, I mean, I guess it'd be possible to do that. We would have to. So something I had to be very, very careful about was to make sure I have not used any data from CLKo or JMA.
Ah, I got you.
Right? So we could take that. I know, like, I'm sure both of them have all the measurement data.
They do.
Doubt they would want to share it with me. We could take it ourselves, though. I mean,
great idea.
Possible.
So I was thinking that would be helpful because I was knocking around a few keys with the fellas and they were like, yeah, you know, if there was measurements on it, we could, you know, take our veneer calipers and run it ourselves and see if it's really the right key. But anyway, I thought that would be helpful. And then also, I know you got to have this in mind. Tech support. Tech support. So you get a hold of tech support through this app. He looks at your picture of the key and he goes, you know, because you got him on the phone or, you know, he's texting you. And he can say, no, that's not the key. This is the key. Then he shows you a picture of the key and you go, doggone, that's the key. So you'd have to get a human involved in it. But, you know, it might be advantageous to do that. And so that was 3 little things I was thinking about. Thought I'd mention them to you.
So on the human element, talk me through that. So what you're saying is that someone uploads each side of the key, they see the results, and then they have questions, or like I mean, talk me through a scenario.
Okay, scenario. They upload the key. You got 5 keys that they're showing, and they can tell obviously it's not the key. Okay, they push a little button on your app, tech support. The tech support guy gets a flash on his screen, and he sees the key that he's dealing with, and the guy, like yourself, I mean, you're a genius in the key world, and you know keys. You are. Okay, trust me, I can see it. So at least for a young man, right, you got it wound tight. So if you saw the key, if I held up the key and it was obvious that you took the pictures, right? I took the pictures of it, and you look at the key and you go, oh no, the app didn't get it right. And you just tell him, no, this is you send the thing to him, the right key, and then he can buy that key. I mean, just real quick. You look at it, you go, no, it's a G, C, whatever, and your thing grabs a picture of it, and he goes, okay, I want 10 or 20 or whatever he wants.
That's an interesting thought. I mean, I wish, okay, so when I'm reviewing the results, and I see something, I just wish there was so one thing is, right, as of right now, it's 100% anonymous, right? Like, if someone uploads a image and does a search or whatever, of course I can see the results. Gotcha. I can see the whole thing, but it's all anonymous, right? But I've often wished there was a way to communicate with the person.
I think so.
And
yes.
I don't necessarily have that worked out a little bit, but I hear exactly what you're saying.
Because not everybody is like us, right? They don't know nothing about keys. I get, having a YouTube channel, right? Do you know how many people text me, do you know what this key is? And these guys are locksmiths. And they're like, sure. And so now I got to research it. I got to look through it. Oh, come on. Don't you have a book? Oh, no, come on. Can you just tell us the answer, please? They just want a quick answer, right? They want, like it's easy. So if you had just a quick answer back, I mean, you probably could streamline that so well that you could tell by just looking at the front and the back that it's not a GF, but it's a GA because it says it on the key. And most people don't even know what those letters stand for. They think, what does that mean? But you do. And so you just go, GA. And then the guy goes, I'm in, I want to buy. That's what I was thinking anyway. But I'm not in tech support, so I don't know how hair raising that would be.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, so I would agree. I think there's some middle ground there that would be helpful for everybody, and it's been on my mind. I don't necessarily have that at all on the roadmap, but it is. I appreciate that feedback. But so here I have kind of a couple questions for you. We're kind of like I want to talk about a few areas of ideniKey. Okay.
Okay.
So something funny that happens a lot is that people. So you can see who's testing the app and who's actually using the app, right? And how you know it's being tested.
I got it.
Is because people will cut out like a little tiny piece of paper and like place it over where it says KW1.
Oh, kidding.
And take the photos. And the funny part is just hey, for all these out there, like we actually don't read the key, so it doesn't. You can put a piece of paper on there. I just think it's funny.
That is funny. That's comical.
It is, but because the funny part is this, right? And this is so I've got to learn a lot of things through this process.
Oh, I bet, yes.
Pretty well, but has never made technology like this. Now, of course, I rely on a bunch of experts, but the experts aren't experts in keys. right? And so it's kind of like, here's the knowledge of app building and technology type of thing. And then here's me over here
Right.
when it comes to keys.
Yeah.
So trying to like kind of merge that together, I find interesting for a few reasons.
Sure.
The first one is that I got how I thought people would take photos. I've already mentioned this. How I thought people would take photos and how they take photos is different. Okay. It's not terrible, but the results can get even better by far. I mean, like the people who are taking good photos can experience about an 80% increase in accuracy. So when we can get that finished, like it's in a life change. Because a lot of times what I'll do, I'll see something come through with a bad result. I'll take the image, I'll crop it, I'll run it back through, and it comes up with the right result.
Oh my goodness gracious!
And it's just because it's too far out, right? It's just way too far out. Or there's a whole ring of keys in the photo. Like a whole ring.
Yeah.
And so it just gets kind of lost.
Well, you know, you did encourage that though. You said leave it on the key ring, and so personally, I was wondering how that was going to work. You know, and I thought, well, okay, I'll try it that way.
Hey, you're absolutely right. But to my defense, I said that you got to make sure that you get everything else out of the picture.
Yeah, you did say that. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And so, I mean, yeah, that's what that's what I get. You know, and the people who work on the technology side are like, you're killing me.
You know, I did have another thought, you know, and I didn't add it to that list, but on the same thought, same identical, you cued me to the thinking of it. If you had a video before let's say they get into this thing and they've got a bunch of keys and they really are serious. And if you just had a tutorial, just a button down at the bottom, see this tutorial on how to use ideniKey. And because I learned a lot from your video, you showed how to take the picture up above and then take your little meat hooks here and, you know, expand it. Not go down on the key, but expand it here. And I'll tell you, I had way better results doing that. So if you had a little video of that.
And another part with that, okay, is that I did not, so I always thought, right, if someone was going to like take a key, they're going to take a photo.
Yes.
But they'd set it on a solid surface that you could see the key and then snap the photo. As a matter of fact, I never even questioned it, but what a lot of people are doing is they're putting it in their hand and they're snapping the photo in their hand. And like with me, I have my wedding ring on there and stuff. It just starts to cause problems. I've been trying to fix that problem, and we have a decent handle on it as well. But like, I wish I would have talked more about a flat surface. Now, of course, we're working on technology to eliminate all of these things. I'm currently
cool.
But as far as like the learning lesson goes,
right,
something that I've
well, I gained from your video. When you showed how to use it, because you've got maybe 6 or 8 videos out now of that. And when I watched that one video, it cued me. I followed suit. I started taking pictures of it and expanding it, and it was way better. And I noticed if I go too big with the picture, it flips it like sideways. And that's not cool, right? So I keep it in like certain parameters of it, and it seems to work better.
Exactly, yes. And so on the next, like when we fix the take picture part on this next iteration of the app that you'll be able to just update your current app.
Gotcha.
It's going to have a little tips button that has that one image I've showed that shows how to take the picture. There'll be an easy video there as well.
Yeah.
And all of these problems will be 100% solved for sure.
Oh, I can't wait.
But so the thing I really want to talk about and kind of I don't know, I'm trying to think of a word to use, is this. So when it comes to the 5 results that we offer, okay, it's actually very intentional why we give 5 results. And there's a few things with it that I kind of want to talk about. Now, a good example of this this is the video that came out over the weekend, was the video on the RV lock.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, right.
The brand RV lock. And that random BAU4 head, but a completely different blade on it.
Weird, isn't it? Yeah, weird.
Weird. And so the thing with that, okay, and like the 100%, the reason why I plan to always have 5 results. Now I can choose to show 1, or I can choose to show 50.
Gotcha.
I choose 5.
Gotcha.
And the reason for that is this. There's a lot of keys that are in the market today that there's not a key made for. Okay? Like this RV lock key in particular is one that there's no blank actually made for it, right?
Wow, yep.
And so I view kind of part of my job with ideniKey is that I want, when you take a photo of a key like that that's not made, I want to give you options. Okay?
I agree. This sounds wonderful.
Right? So you can get the job done. And like in the example of the one from the RV lock video, you could see that, 1646, or excuse me, 1611R
Yeah.
was one of them. SS4 was another one.
Yeah, you cut off the shoulder and it all worked great.
Yes, and so the thing is that I want you, as someone who, when you're working with locks and keys and you get a key that a customer wants,
You got
I
it.
want to show you as many options that could work as possible, because listen, you may have never heard of a 1611R.
No.
But you do have a Century Safe key that's a SS4.
Isn't that funny?
And so for you to be able to use that key to get the job done and collect the money and make the customer happy,
Sure.
wonderful. Maybe you have the 1611R, maybe you do more like automotive side, and you've never even heard of a SS4 before because you don't do any of that sort of thing.
Right, right.
You also still can get the job done, right?
Yeah, because that's the whole reason we're going to your app. To solve the problem.
To solve the problem, and is what I'm trying to communicate to the best of my abilities, is that like I want to give you as many options as possible. Okay, for example, like a Yale key, like a Y78 or a GA8. Right?
Yeah.
Or a GA, I mean, an GA.
Yeah.
I want to not only show you that key, but I'm hoping and trying my best to make sure that other keys in that chart that would work would show up.
Yes, I agree. I 100% agree. When you cueing my brain on this, because as I was playing with it, I thought, if you just pop a chart up on these segmented keys, because how in the world could you ever figure out all those for it to read? I mean, it'd be cool if you could, right? But
I'm going to.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's a dream.
Oh, yeah. Well, I tell you what. So right now we're working on all the Corbin Rust wins, all of them, and the entire tree.
Oh, this is fun.
So yeah, then those were areas that I hadn't prior to the launch of the app. I hadn't really spent much time on that.
I don't blame you. That's off in the weeds.
Yes, yeah, but the big thing for me is, and I'm hoping, and maybe you could tell me if you have a better way to explain this or how to communicate it, in case unless I'm not doing it clearly. But of course, if you take a picture of a 1611, okay, or a SS4, I want to show you in the results an SS4 or a 1611, right?
Right.
But I also am hoping to show you other keys with similar profiles that could potentially work. Because you're not going to have every key, okay? No one's going to have every key. And so to be able to show you options that you could use, maybe you have to cut the shoulder back a little bit, maybe you have to take a little bit of the tip off.
This is wonderful. Yep.
You're going to get a key that works hopefully with your existing inventory. So, and that's something that's been so I want to give you a couple examples.
Okay, yeah. I'm waiting.
I want to show you. And by the way, thanks for being here and hanging out. I'm having a blast. Everybody in the comments, I see you're having a blast too. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out with us.
Right.
So the thing. I'm reading when I read the comments, I can't talk at the exact same time. It's a bad habit.
I wish I could read.
I know, right? But hey, read the comments, right? You're like, oh, what is that? But
Right.
But, okay, so I want to give you an example.
Okay.
Here, okay.
All right.
So there was a key. What was it for? What was it for? Shoot. I wish I want to give you as much details here as I can.
Gotcha.
Okay, I can't think of it, and I'll quit.
Hold on. I'm working on your brain.
It was a key. It's a key that. Oh my gosh, hold on. Let me pull open a new browser. Let me see if I can find this really quick because it's gonna drive me nuts if I can't talk. Okay, I already found it.
Oh, cool.
Nope, I didn't.
Oh.
Nope.
You know, only locksmiths enjoy this kind of stuff. I mean, this is like candy, right?
It is. I mean, as you can tell, I'm having fun.
I'm having a blast.
You know, I just can't help myself.
I agree.
Okay, I can't. I thought I could find it quickly.
Okay.
I'll give you just kind of the bigger version of it.
All right, let's hear it.
There's this key that OEM manufacturers don't, or Ilco and JMA actually don't make a key for it. Okay?
Gotcha.
Although there's a seller on the internet that sells pre-cut keys.
Gotcha.
Using a blank that I'm guessing they're just like they just had made over in China, or they've had it made somewhere. Maybe Ilco or JMA makes it for them. I don't know, but there's this random key, and it's kind of like this really weird head on it. Okay, like it's a very distinguished looking key. But after doing a lot of research, I mean a lot, I mean way too much time, I figured out that a LD1 fits it perfectly.
Good for you.
LD1 fits it perfectly, and I have good confirmation on this. That's why I know it works.
That's why if you gave us a chance, we'd probably help you.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yep. But this is what happened. Okay, so I got it all figured out in ideniKey. Everything's, Gucci.
Yeah.
But then someone searches for this key because people search a lot for this key, and that's why it's driving me
Oh,
nuts. I can't remember.
I'm with you. Yeah, you got a pulse on it now. Yeah.
But the result came up. Okay, someone searched for the key. The result came up. It was the number one result, and they left me a comment and said, "That is not the right key. The right key blank is," and then they list this online seller of pre-cut keys part numbers because I looked it up.
Now you got the lead. That's what you were looking for.
Well, no. So the thing is that like the key that we showed, the LD1, is the actual key that will work.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
See, but people are saying because they're used to ordering these keys pre-cut or whatever with this particular weird shaped head on it.
I got you.
Like a round shaped head. They were telling me that it wasn't the right result, but it was.
The milling was all perfect, but a different head, is it?
Yes. And so, I've spent a lot of time trying to think through. I'm like, how do I feel bad because the person just got the key they need, but they don't think it's the right one.
Well, what if you said this in these obscure situations? If you had a text line on your app that said, this is the right key for what you're asking for, but the head is different. The milling is correct, but the head is different. That might give the person some reassurance that you figured it out. Would that be even in the realm of possibility? I mean, I would believe it. I mean, keys aren't that expensive. So you buy them. If it's not right, well, hey, I bought lots of keys that don't work.
Yeah, so I would say that you are absolutely correct, and it could. However, there's a lot of exceptions. So like a LD1, LD2, Larson door keys work for a lot of other things but Larson door. And so we could put in, hey, it could work for this. But what if the person was searching it for something else, and then they're like, oh, this works for a file cabinet, and it doesn't work for this gas cap?
Wouldn't it eventually come up that you tick all the boxes? Yeah, I mean, if you get so much question for this key, and you get so many people asking for the key, you could cover every box theoretically possible for that key to go into, and they would look at this little teeny box, whatever it is, and they go, "Son of a gun, it does fit my key, my lock." Why not? I mean, I would look at it if you had a little graph and you said, "Oh, okay, there's a key. Oh, hey, it works in mine. I'll buy 10 of them. Who cares? 10 keys is nothing, and I'll see if it works. Hopefully, it will." I mean, you've got the pulse on it because your database is collecting so much input of the United States of America, what people are looking for.
It is.
Yeah, it blows my brain.
Do you want to know something I'm most happy about? Okay, I'll give you a little something here.
Okay.
So there's a toolbox key that, I mean, essentially if you go to Lowe's, Home Depot, or pick whatever place you want that sells toolboxes, there's this very popular black-headed key that's everywhere. Okay, Husky's using it, Cobalt's using it.
Oh, cool.
Right, you name it.
Cool.
This key stumped me to the point where, I spent essentially an entire day going back and forth from this building to these stores with the blanks, figuring out which one would fit in and work.
This is wonderful. See, we can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I did this and I figured it out, right? I figured it out. And as a matter of fact, there's a couple options that will work, one better than the other, like one I prefer over another.
Sure.
And I was able to input this data into ideniKey, and it just every time, and we're talking at every day, minimum, I don't know, 5 times minimum, this key is being searched.
Oh, this is wonderful. You had to figure that out.
It pops up. I just get so happy,
Oh yeah.
I'm like, this key stumped me for a gosh darn day.
Right.
For a full day, this thing on a Saturday.
Yes.
Drove me mad. Okay.
I believe it. I've been in the same situation, but I don't have millions of keys to play with like you do. See, there's the difference. And that's why you're such a help. And when you came up with this app, I could foresee you doing exactly what you're saying, testing keys and giving us good results, because I can't buy every key in the world, And
that is, of course, and of course, like, we sell keys here, right? I mean, it's how we pay our bills,
right.
Selling supplies. But it's also very important for me to display results in a way that will get you to a key that hopefully you have an inventory that will work.
Yeah, and I never even thought that direction. That you don't even know how helpful that what you just said.
Right?
Because
so, I'll give you an example, right? I grew up working in one of my dad's lock shops.
Right. I followed you a little bit.
And we knew that if we didn't have the key and we told the customer, "Oh, hey, we found the key, and come back in a week and we'll have it," they may or may not, depending on the level of urgency that they have for that key.
Yes, right? Yes, you've lost them.
Now, yes, and all that, and you can call them and you try to give them a comment or whatever, and sometimes that works, and sometimes that's your only option. But in my dad's case, he has 1,000, maybe more keys on the wall, and if we could find a key that would work, that was way better than having to order in a different key and have the customer wait, right? And so in the app with the results, I want to give you hopefully an option that you can use that is you have in your inventory.
Well, you know what, and why I'm saying this is so important. You know that Blanco thing? It gives me at least 12 keys that will work in the same situation. It might be a good idea to peruse that tool and see the options they're given. It might save you a little footwork. I mean, I use all kinds of tools at my disposal. Okay, I even have master key systems that show tips of keys, right? And so I'm looking through there. Okay, tips of keys, flipping the pages from master key programs, and I mean it's there. It might just save you, because I have about 12 keys as an option to one key in that dumb program.
Okay, so you're saying, explain that to me for a minute. Now, we've sold that tool you're talking about.
Yeah.
We have sold it. I have intentionally not used anyone else's technologies at all.
You know, I say embrace it. They've given it to you. They've given you an idea, right? And it's the American way to improve upon things. So you're going to see with a lot of different apps. In fact, you know, that's how I made a few bucks here and there, was because I was familiar with many things, especially in the electronic lock world. And so they paid me because I knew about this lock and Kaba and how they built programs. So put your brain together with that and come up with a good program, right? So we did this. But that little tool, you can't quite see it in the thing.
Yep, yeah, I do know what you're talking about.
Okay, well, when I stick the key in, it reads the tip of the key. That's what it does. And it also reads the length. Okay, it's giving me the exact measurement of the key. I can fool it if I don't hold the key all the way in. But it gives me, in all flavors of different companies, brands, the same key. And I can buy, and then so I call up Bill at Annixter, you know, and hey, Bill, can you get me this key? You know, I don't have that key. Can you get me this one? No, well, would this one work? Because, you know, they know about it, right? And I go, yeah, it's on the list. And I'm like, okay, great, let's get it. So it's kind of there already.
Yes. Well, yeah. As far as that data, so we already have that on our website, right? So you can type
Yes.
in full, or you could type in a key line or any part number, and it will automatically come up with the key version that we have of that. So we already have that data. Now we're not displaying it in the app at the moment, but we've seen a lot of requests for that, and so that's something that we will keep under consideration as we kind of get this going. So, you know, if you have time, you know, we've been going about 45 minutes, and I've been making a habit of an hour, but I'd like to go a little longer if
Yes.
you're all right with it.
Yeah, I'm with it.
I'm having a blast.
You know what? I couldn't believe you asked me on the show. I was like, I can't believe it. I just won the gold prize. Here I'm an old man, you know, and this is stuff I just love. This is so dear and near to me. And when you come up with the app, and I'm not just showering you with praise here that's not deserved, because it is deserved. The trouble that I've had going through these books and going into like IDN or any of the suppliers, okay, and they'll throw a book at you because they're not going to spend no time. And you come in with some funky key and they throw a book and you're like, come on, man, I got to get back to work. Do you have the key or not? Whereas this just saves me all that trouble. I can call them up. I don't even have to walk in there. And, you know, it's a dream come true. If you do all the things you're saying within a reasonable amount of time, some of these things are like 5 years out on people's minds. And I understand that, but I won't be around then. You know, I'd like to I'd like to be able to use it before I'm gone.
I mean, Mike, I hope you're still around, but yeah, no, we don't. We are pushing hard. Like, you know, like I told you around the phone call, we have several people working on this around the clock.
Good.
I mean, I am full pedal in, and I am spending a lot of money.
Yeah, well, you'd have to. It's worth it.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to.
It's worth it.
I want to address real quick in the comments. Yeah, Sherelle and others have said, you know, be careful of other people's IP stuff and all that. Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I have not touched anyone else's things at all.
Yeah.
For that reason, you know, it's the same way. I don't watch almost any other videos with lock and key stuff in it, because I want the content that I'm putting out to be as authentic as I possibly can. And so, like, seeing a guy do a tip on something and then I'm doing a video on something similar, like, I don't want to take the guy's tip. You know?
I understand that.
To, like, come through it all. But yeah, so as a matter of fact, Cheryl, like, something that we have done is our database and all of our data that we have, all of it is stuff that we have gathered ourselves, and we haven't used anybody's. And to be honest with you, like, I mean, I've gotten phone calls, okay, from, let's just call it other companies, asking us if we have used any of their data, okay? And I'm like, probably I could say no, because I'm sure if we had, I'd find myself in a court of law somewhere, which I prefer not to, you know, anyways. But yeah, so I've been very, very careful on that, and I really just want to use our own data. I want to do it right, and we obviously want to be as helpful as we possibly can. But okay, so let's see here. Yeah, James says, if PJ ever finishes identikey, he's going to be devastated. Oh my gosh, that's funny. You know, I admit I've been waking up about 5:30 every morning, and I like to spend the first half hour to hour reviewing results. I just absolutely love it. But okay, Mike, I don't want to get too distracted. I want to go over a couple things here
Okay.
before we're done.
Okay.
And the first thing I want to do is I want to show everybody an image. Now, this is an image, okay, that has been searched I'm going to use a technical term here, if you're okay with technical terms, which is, it's been searched a crap ton, okay? That's my technical term for the day.
Gotcha.
And it's been searched a lot. I don't have any idea what it is, okay?
Oh, okay.
I'm going to show it to you in just a second. I have searched high and low to try to order a lock and key, even to the point where I found myself on Temu today trying to find anyone selling this darn lock and key so I could bring it in, maybe shoot a video, and at least solve the problem, right? Because the problem is if I don't know for certain, I don't want to tell ideniKey anything because I don't want to lie to ideniKey.
Yes.
Or,
right.
You know, it's very important. And so I've even thought about creating some sort of like a Facebook group or some sort of community for people who are geeks like me that want to find keys to that I could post pictures in and people can help me find them or something. So I don't know, people watching in the comments, if that's something that might be interesting to you, let me know. And I don't know, I'll consider we get enough people, maybe open it up, you know, make something like that. But so I've tried high and low to try to find this key. I have not. There's a few ways it looks like I can order the key, but only the key itself. I don't mind doing that, but I prefer to get more knowledge on it. So anyways, with all that being said, let me show you the picture here, okay?
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
And Mike, if you know what this key is, okay, I'm just saying right now, within the first couple minutes of us talking, if you know for certain, you know what this key is, you're getting a $100 credit immediately, okay?
Okay. Go ahead. Wait, give me a phone call. Can I do a shout out?
Yep.
Let me call you. Oh, no.
That's the key. So I can't really say the name. It's like Shishane Plastic is what it says on it.
That looks like a Han or something of that nature.
Yeah, and I can't really tell how large this key is.
You know, I've got
I just
Hans.
have a lot of questions about what this is.
Wow, that does look like a Han key. You know, those keys, it's going to be a cabinet key, I'm sure. And it's...
And well, I mean, what we do know for sure at this point is that it's not a key to Jimmy J's heart.
Okay.
So we can get that out of the... But yes, yeah, you're right. So it goes to, like, Chinese mopeds. It goes to e-bikes.
Oh, okay.
Scooters, like, it goes on a lot of foreign, like, just kind of, like, imported stuff that doesn't really have a name, at least not yet, that, like, they just kind of threw this random switch on.
Rats.
And this has been searched a lot.
Really? Well, you know, too bad you can't ask them why they're searching for it. That would give you the clue what they're looking for, because they probably have the lock itself. You know, Canada has a lot of these companies that are cabinet companies, you know, and they come directly from them, and they're proprietary key. They won't even sell them to you. You got to buy them from them. Might be the key. Might be one of them.
And so that's why, like, man, I'm hoping someone actually knows what a key with certainty, a key that'll fit. But if not, that's why for me, I want to be able to get a lock. And I want to do what I hope ideniKey gets known for one day, which is being able to search a key like this and hopefully find an existing key that you could use in its place, if that makes sense.
Now, could you turn the key over? I just got one picture of it. If you turn it over, I'll turn it into ideniKey and we'll see what it is.
Oh, well, I don't have the other side.
Oh no! Oh no!
But it looks like the other side though.
Okay, I'm gonna try ideniKey. Maybe it'll give me the answer.
Yeah.
You never
People
know.
searched a lot for it in ideniKey. People have searched a lot.
I'm gonna be one tonight. This is too much fun, you know. What if it gave me what you're thinking?
Like calling all of the internet who likes locks and keys. Maybe you know what this key is. If you do, it'd be amazing.
That is a cool key.
Amazing.
Well, you know, I'd shove it down my. If I had that key right now, I'd shove it down the face of that key reader I got. I mean, it's so pretty accurate. I'm not kidding you, and it's all overseas junk in there too. So, you know, you got everything. You can make the database bigger or smaller. I have it just locally for the United States, but yeah, I would widen it up and shove it down the face. In fact, I get calls from Annixter. Hey, do you know what this key is? I said, send me the key. I might be able to put it in my machine and tell you. But
yeah, well, and like as Ken Nixon says, buy a Chinese e-bike to get the lock. That's actually reasonable and rational, Ken. I would do something like that.
yeah.
Like I told you, that's why I was on Temu trying to find. I typed in like e-bike scooter key, and I was just trying to hopefully find some sort of ignition or something that I could buy. But let's see here. But yeah, so anyways, Mike, yeah, so this is a key. So like, I mean, this is kind of a little bit of the inside of my life here of what, you know, I'm doing and trying, because this is the thing, like, this key's been searched a lot by a lot of different people. And if I know I can give them the result and like they're going to be able to cut that key for their customer, it literally pumps me up.
I'm glad to hear that.
So,
yeah.
And so I don't mind spending a day if I have to finding that key.
Wow.
If it's going to actually help someone get a duplicate, right?
Yeah.
And so, you know, that's just something I just love it. And, you know, like I said, with the toolbox keys and like the amount of stuff I had to go through to be able to get a key for that.
Yeah.
And to see so many people search them, it just makes me super pumped up, you know?
Yeah, I don't blame you. This is cool. And your help is tremendous. That, I mean, even the AI said, if you had a program like what yours is, right, it would be most helpful to the locksmith community. I mean, come on. If the AI, Gemini says that, I mean, that's what it is, Gemini.
Yep, Gemini. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, as far as that goes, I mean, of course, I mean, we do have all of our stuff locked down, right, on private servers and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, we're definitely taking as much care as far as that goes as we possibly can, for sure. But yeah, so well, yeah, that's kind of, you know, where I'm at with it, and it's been fun talking with you and hanging out.
Thanks. I agree. I feel the same way. Thank you.
And, you know, thank you for the enthusiasm as well. When I saw that video, I mean, I was just like, I felt like I was just there with you having a good old time, you know?
Well, you know what I told my wife? Okay, you got your app up, right? And I said, I gotta be the first one to make a video on that thing. I'm gonna do it right now. I mean, I ran into the studio and I got your app and I'm playing with it and I'm doing it and I want to make this video because I want to be the first one out. And sure enough, look at it, paid off. I got on your show. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it is cool. And you know, a couple other quick things, actually, if you don't mind, and we'll end it here in a minute. But so I don't know if you heard me talking about this last week, and I might have said it confusing a little bit, but how I want and have made ideniKey work, I think in some regards is a little different than what people are thinking a little bit. Okay, and I want to give you a couple examples of this.
Okay.
And kind of tell me what you think. So I gave the example last week of a customer or of someone who searched a Hillman 1646 key. Okay, and I think it was an R. I'm just going to say 1646 is easier here. Okay, so they searched for they took a picture of a Hillman 1646.
Okay.
It was a nickel-plated key, by the way.
Hmm.
The first result that popped up was the Compex OEM version of that ILCO key. Okay.
Okay.
Of that part number 1646.
Okay.
The second result was the ILCO 1646 key.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
Now this is what's fascinating about that. Now you would think, okay, so here's a nickel-plated Hillman 1646 key. Why did it show the gold OEM Compex key first and then the nickel-plated version second? And I want to answer this question clearly.
Okay, let's hear it, because I noticed it does this. It'll show one color versus the other, even though I...
Okay.
Yeah.
This is why. JMA makes the Hillman keys, that 1646. The Compex OEM key is also made by JMA, and then the 1646 that we sell is made by ILCO. And so my point is that the ideniKey picked up on that the Hillman key was more similar to the Compex original because it's made by the same manufacturer over ILCO.
Whoa.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. How in the world could it know that, though?
Because all of the millings, I mean, all the keys are a little different, right? All the millings are always a little different. And my guess is that JMA just took the milling for the OEM key and just changed had it say, Hillman on it or whatever.
I see what's going on. I see now.
But the thing that I want to point out, though, is that that ideniKey was able to tell that key was similar to the other key made by JMA and not the key made by ILCO, because color does matter, okay? In ideniKey, color does matter, but it's not the most important thing. Like, I'm not trying to match colors, so to speak, right?
Yeah, it's obvious because I put in keys and you give me a different color. It'll be nickel versus just the copper key, or the
Yes, because I'm not necessarily I'm more concerned about the profile of the key than I am of the color, if that makes sense, right? And so that's how that works for us, right? And that's my intention. But sometimes I see people leave comments, hey, it came up with the nickel plated or it came up with brass. But for me, my point is well, okay, it did, right?
Big deal.
What's most important is that you actually know what that part number is. Now, if you
That's right.
Now, what flavor you want, okay, that's up to you. You want the brass flavor, you want the nickel-plated flavor,
Well,
you want the nickel-silver
you
flavor.
give the option. I flip through and I can get the key I want. From what I could see, it showed nickel, and then I could get the regular key I was looking for, non-nickel. It was.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, exactly. But if you know what the part number is, if you know what the key is, right, you can do what you want at that point.
Sure.
So, and that's why, so going back to how I kind of started this conversation that's why I think it's funny when people cut out little things and they put over the part number, and I'm like, okay, does the color in our algorithm, right? Does the color matter? Yes. Does everything matter? Yes. But it doesn't matter more than other things.
I see.
Right? It doesn't matter more than other things. And so, I just think it's funny. This is something I wasn't really anticipating, that people were wanting the color right, so to speak.
Yeah, I bet that blew you away.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, it's this key, but I don't know. I mean, that's just something, I'm learning as far as that goes. Now, it's what I did do, by the way. I did tell it, hey, when you see a Hillman 1646 key, show first the ILCO 1646 nickel plate, because, well, that's what people are expecting to see.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But so that's one of those things that, maybe a little bit of me taking maybe too much of a holistic approach at first was, maybe I didn't explain it that good, so to speak. But
well, you know what happens? It's from your background. You're so familiar All right, you know that if they get that number, they can get any flavor they want, but they don't know that. And you're and because how I see this is you're selling to the masses now. This isn't like just going to the the locksmiths. You're selling to the masses because you open it on Google and the App Store, Apple. I mean, the masses are looking for this. And they're like, hey, yeah, I can get 10 keys. They don't even know they're not cut. They're just blanks, but they're going to be upset. But that doesn't matter. And you're looking at it from the standpoint of you understand the key numbers. And that might be it.
So I think so. I'm trying to take this information that I've told you, and I'm trying to okay, like when we're first going to fix taking the image. Okay, we're going to get that issue solved.
Gotcha.
And then number 2 is okay, how can we display the info in a way that is most helpful to people using the app, right? And so I'm exploring that way, but I as someone like yourself who likes keys and geeks out with it like me, I figure you get a kick out of ideniKey recognizing that decided to recognize first the key made by the same manufacturer before it did another manufacturer.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
and I can't even imagine what went behind this whole thing because no one's had this.
Yeah.
No one.
I mean, it's a hard problem. It's been a very hard. I can't underestimate the amount of hours and the amount of capital that has went into doing this. Right. I mean,
right.
It's the best thing I've ever done in my life. That's for sure. And number 2, more importantly, it's a puzzle that there's only one way to solve, and it's the hard way. And I just happen to love locks and keys, and I just get a kick out of it. I mean,
I'm so glad.
Enjoy it.
I'm glad because it took a guy with heart. You couldn't get in this adventure without some heart in this thing. They call it skin in the game or whatever, right? You're having a blast with it, and it's obvious.
I mean, I love it, and I tell you what, when I see a result come through of a hard key and and ideniKey did its job right, it makes me honestly just so happy, and it makes all of it that I'm worth it. Now, of course, do I hope I sell keys? Absolutely. That's how we pay our bills.
Yeah, right.
But more importantly, before that, what's most important is people being able to find the key they're looking for and to be able to help their customer. And if that's happening, I'm good, right? So, but yeah, that's one of those things that kind of where I'm at and kind of a little bit insider baseball and all that.
I got a question for you, just a last minute question. All right, how in the world did you think of this ideniKey to have a winking eyes? Who thought of that? It's brilliant. I mean, now you don't know what I do fully. I mean, I like to have things in the scene when I take pictures of my videos. And I like to have your little ideniKey up in the corner, blinking its little eyes. I think that is so hilarious. I can't believe you thought of that. What brought that on?
Okay, so a couple things. So I wanted when someone used the app, I wanted, when they hear the word ideniKey, I wanted them to think of this little character.
It's good. Right? It's golden.
Mainly because it's fun, but it just be a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
So the eyes blink, and I don't know if you notice in the middle of their body, there's gears that are moving.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
We didn't do a good job on the colors. You'll get that a little better there.
See the gears, guys? They're turning around in circles. I never noticed that.
Yes.
Oh, this is so hip. I'm telling you.
That's us just really having fun a little bit.
I'm glad you did. It brightened my day. Okay, I put it in the scene. It's up in the corner, and I'm getting a kick out of it, and I'll be talking during the video. I put up a few videos like this, and I go, oh, look at, he's winking at me, and I must make them giggle, the guys when they're watching that, because it makes me happy. I don't care about everybody else.
I'm pretty certain it was a while ago, so we had the ideniKey little summer. Lily made it, and I'm pretty sure she's the one who came up with the blink.
Ah,
Which is cool.
it's wonderful. You tell her, bravo.
It is.
From Mike Walker at Door and Lock Tips. Got to get that punch in there.
It's funny for me. It's but yeah. So, okay, Mike. Let's go to the comments here. Excuse me here for a second because someone in here says, "Oh, hey, here it is." FTRV says that is the same as my e-bike key. It's actually, she's saying key 050 pre-cut by code. Yep, which is how everyone sells them. Hey, this is also a 050 here on the screen, which is cool. So, FTRV, is there any way I could get you to figure out, like looking through the blanks that you have or whatever we need to do to figure out what that key is? Because I would love to be able to update the app here. So Gary Starnes, how's it going? Says, hey PJ, pretty sure I have used a YH50 for the e-bike key. So FTRV, if at all possible, if you could try a YH50. If you don't have a YH50, let me know. And I'm actually just pulling up a picture of the HY50 because I just want to see what it looks like. Okay, yeah. If you don't have that key, I would absolutely love to send you one to try. That'd be really cool. And then let's see here. It's basically the same as a TR45, just shorter. TR45, key blank. Let me pull it up. Okay, the TR45. What? Are you talking about TR25 maybe? I'm thinking. I do not have that key. FTRV, if you want me to send you a YH50, I would absolutely love to. Just send it. If you could just send me an email send us an email, sales@CLKsupplies.com, and we can ship you out a YH50. We'd love to. I'd love to. And if we could get confirmation that it would work, and I could tell ideniKey this information, I'm telling you what, there would be dozens of people who would be able to help their customers who bring in that key. It would be really cool. So, man, I love this. I mean, Mike, here we are. We're having fun. Looks like we're solving problems.
Yeah, you just got a key that you've been looking for.
I've been looking for, I tell you what. So, man, that'll be fun. I mean, I love it. You know what? And then when I get done with this one, I can move on to some of the others.
Mm-hmm.
Never ending. I love it.
Well, it will come to an end. You'll be shocked.
Good stuff.
Thanks for having me on, PJ. Really,
yeah,
thanks.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. I love your enthusiasm. If everyone watching, if you haven't checked out Door and Lock Tips, go over and check out Mike. As you can see, great personality. He's having a lot of fun. I love how you fun around with it all too. You're
right.
Having a good time.
Got to have a little fun in life.
Yeah, I agree. So it's very cool. It's great meeting you.
Thanks.
Hopefully we'll be in contact and maybe have you again on the show sometime.
I'd love that. Let's take a rain check on that. I'll be on anytime you want. How about that?
Very cool. So, all right, Mike. Well, hey, we'll go ahead and I'll let you go and I'll move on to the winners here. And then, of course, Ian, I know it's past 5 o'clock our time. If you would like to cut out and leave, you definitely can as I finish it up here. But anyways, Mike, all right. Well, hey, take care. We'll see you, all right?
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Yep. See ya. All right, everybody.
Okay,
good stuff here.
guys.
All right, so let's go
Did you
ahead
see
here.
that?
Maybe we're looking
I'm hoping
at
you're still there.
uh,
Now, if you buzz over to his channel really quick, though, I'm not going to try to steer you away from mine. But if you go over there,
let's get on to
you
this
can win
week's
something.
lucky
In fact, I
winners.
didn't
Do those
say
and make sure
anything.
we get on the same page, Julio.
Oh, no, that's from a
Right
week
up
earlier.
there.
Yeah,
You
that's
go
how it
ahead and
works.
put a little music music on for the giveaways, though. All right.
I'll let you listen. Here we go.
CLKsupplies.com. Call us today, 100-848-6989, and we'll send your gifts soon. How to win. Comment on our videos with the hashtag Lockboss. Winners will be chosen from comments on the previous week's videos for our weekly giveaway. No purchase necessary. It's my favorite part. All right, here we go. Winner number 1 is Bill Gray 7914. Congratulations. Winner number 2 is J Bond Forever. Congratulations. Winner number 3 is Mike Finley 4713. Mike, congratulations. Winner number 4 is Ed Paradis 1578. Congratulations, Ed. And last but not least, winner number 5 this week is Steve Vegas 2490. Very, very good. Congratulations to all the winners. Of course, we still got the
There were winners tonight.
Bluetooth speaker going on, doubles as a flashlight, and you can buy it, or even better.
Oh, I'm glad you are all here for my show. You know, it's his show, but it was my show on this end. Thank you, guys.
Show this week. Thank you all so much for coming on.
Thanks, really.
Congrats to the winners. And you know,
I had a blast.
There is some good comments cracking up, man. I have to not look or I start laughing. But I'll tell you what, maybe next week we'll give away some stickers or something. Some new stickers we got out. Man, I tell you what, once again, everybody, thank you all for hanging out and being a part of the Lockboss community, for commenting on the videos, and just all around being great people to be around. So, anyways, I'll leave you with a little bit of tunes, or I should say Julio well, and we'll see y'all same place, same time next week. Y'all stay safe out there. Take care.
Wasn't that great? I felt like I was part of the show. Who'd ever dream? Well, that's the end of it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. This is my first live video program, and hopefully we'll have some more in the future. I will get better at this, and someday I'll figure out how to get that camera so it gets a wide angle picture. Anyway, thanks again, and I'll leave you with it. Remember, get ideniKey. It's worth every penny because you don't have to spend anything on it. ideniKey. Get it from your app store or Google Play. Thanks again, guys.